Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Belle again. So today, we're going to talk about Trump's turnaround and the real news. Yesterday, the markets had a pretty good day, but that's actually the problem. The Dow, the S&P 500, and the NASDAQ were all up about 2.5%. Under normal circumstances, that's good news. But in this case, it's showing a disconnect between the markets and the real news. The market was responding to Trump administration statements. First, U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said that the trade war between the U.S. and China was unsustainable. This isn't news. Everybody except the Trump administration seemed to know that from the beginning. He also said he expected de-escalation to occur soon between the two countries. That would be good news if it was news. But since talks haven't even started, that's kind of just going off vibes. Unless, of course, Bessent knows Trump just plans on throwing in the towel during the talks and then telling his base he won. What's the other piece of news that drove the markets up? Trump said he had no intention of firing Fed Chair Jerome Powell. That's cool. I don't plan on firing him either. Trump isn't actually in a situation where he can fire Powell. So the market responded positively to Trump saying he wasn't going to swim the Atlantic. That wasn't going to happen anyway. What's the actual news here? The U.S. Treasury Secretary is saying the president's trade war isn't sustainable. This just handed leverage to every country currently in negotiations. They now know the U.S. isn't doing well economically and may not be able to weather the storm. And Trump said he wasn't going to attempt to do something that shouldn't even be considered an option. Beyond those two pieces of news, the International Monetary Fund slashed its projection for U.S. economic growth for this year by a full percentage point and slashed the global economic growth forecast by 0.5%. That's bad news. Digging past the top lines, you'd see that the U.S. is projected to suffer the biggest decline and be hurt the most by Trump's policies. This was all bad economic news, but the market went up. That shows a market disconnected from the actual happenings and running on emotions. That means if more uncertainty is introduced because Trump alters his public stance again, you'll see another dramatic shift downward. One of the things that is worth noting as people try to follow the ups and downs of the market by percentages each day. If you have a stock that costs $100 and it goes down 10% on Monday, it's worth $90. If it then goes up 10% on Tuesday, it's worth $99, not $100. As of closing yesterday, the Dow is down 10.99% since Trump took office. The S&P 500 is down 9.9%, and the NASDAQ is down 17.49%. With the level of uncertainty and the amount of emotion in the market and economy as a whole, I would not consider the volatility over just yet. I don't think we're out of the woods. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.